Hello friends, welcome back. So in this video I'll be discussing about 10 interview questions that may be asked related to test closure report. So let us move on. The first interview question is, what is all about test closure report? A test closure report is a test deliverable. Basically it is a document that summarizes all the test activities as well as the outcomes at the end of each testing phase. That is when we will be writing up the test closure report. The main objective of this test closure report is to provide all the information regarding the entire testing activities and as well as highlighting any outstanding risks or issues as part of this closure activities of the testing project. Why is test closure report is very important? Test closure report provides enough information for the stakeholders with a clear understanding of test outcomes, support decision making for project releases, and based on the lesson learned also is getting documented in the test closures, and as well as it establishes a baseline for the future projects. What are the ingredients will be as part of the test closure report? That is a question here. Here in the test closure report, so we'll be documenting the overall test summary and objective as part of this test closure report, as well as we'll be documenting all the test metrics which we identified earlier or agreed upon. Those metrics will have to display in this test closure report along with its results as well, and the overall defect summary as well will have to provide, like how many major, how many critical, how many minor or trivial, and so on. Based on that, stakeholders can take a stand on whether we can release the product or not, and even as a test lead or a test manager perspective, you should also document the overall risk and issues when we are trying to close a project or our testing project. So what are the risks we do see, or what are the issues we see that is impacting our closing of the testing project, as well as we should document the lesson learned as part of overall testing activity, so that these learnings we can take it forward in the coming releases, so that we can adopt these learnings in the next coming projects. And any recommendations or we'll have to document as part of this test closure report, so that whenever we are going to take up the next project, so that time, so these recommendations will be definitely useful as part of a given testing project. What are the metrics normally will be included in the test closure report? The test common metrics we provided in a test closure report is number of test cases which are executed, out of which what is the pass or fail ratio, and how many defects are identified, and what are their current statuses, and what is the coverage percentage in terms of testing, as well as the defect density that we'll have to measure as part of the test reporting matrices. That we'll have to document it as part of test closure report, and describe the situation where the test closure report help in a decision making. Obviously, this test closure report gives enough information. If you take an example of a banking application, in the banking application as part of our test closure reports, that reveals that because we'll have documented all the information related to defects, so that would give us critical defects are not available, or all critical defects are resolved and only minor issues are remain. That means we can go ahead with the release. That information is very crucial in making a decision for the test closing. How do you handle outstanding issues in the test closure report? The outstanding issues are documented with their impactness or severity, and recommended actions also will be documenting, especially if it is critical ones, or trivial, not much worried about, but anything critical or major, that we'll have to clearly document all these informations. That is going to ensure so that we can track effectively until it is getting resolved in subsequent releases. If you wanted to release with these issues, then we'll have to clearly document it and get a buy-in from all the stakeholders. What challenges challenges have you faced while preparing the test closure report? Do you face any challenges in preparing test closure report? Normally, the challenges we do face while writing a test closure is lack of incomplete documentation will be there, and unresolved defects will be there, and inconsistency in the metrics which we agree to measure. With this information, gathering information has also becomes very difficult. That time what we have to do is we will have to start working with the various teams to gather as much as information, and we have to start working on filling these gaps, as well as prioritizing the critical issues for the discussions, which is during defect triaging. So in this way, we can really prepare a good test closure report. How do you ensure accuracy of the data in the test closure report? The main thing, accuracy in the test report, is again depends upon the data which we get it from the test management tools like Jira, test trails. Those will get validated with the metrics with the team and review the documents with the stakeholders for the feedback. So in this way, we can ensure that there is accuracy with our test reports. How do you capture lesson learned in the test closure reports? The lesson learned are derived from the retrospective meetings with your team members, where they'll give a lot of insights about overall processes or its inefficiencies, and tools that work well and tools that did not work well, or what are the areas of improvement. All those things will be documented as part of lesson learned, and these documents will be used in the future projects. What roles does test closure reports plays in the continuous improvement? The test closure report provides valuable feedback on testing methodologies, identifying the recurring issues, as well as highlighting the process gaps. These are the things which can be helpful as a continuous improvement, because these things serve as a reference for redefining the overall test strategy in the near future projects.